It's finally July. That means 5 more months of 2020. And we all thought that copper was going to be one of the worst things of 2020. But, so, as you know the rules, no Florida man stories, because, that's low hanging fruit. But, so, stuff that I'm not going to really cover during the story is the Shane Dawson stuff, is because, it's like a huge story thing, and I'm more of a, news that actually on news channels. I mean, even though it was picked up by some news channels, but so let's get into this. Protesters reportedly hacked Chicago police radios with Tay Zonde's YouTube classic "Chocolate Rain." So remember that, a guy saying "Chocolate Rain" in a weird voice. Well, people hacked into police radio to just blast it, and so came out June 3rd. And you could just look it up. Just look up hackers or protesters hacked Chicago, and it's funny because what a weird thing just to do. I mean not the hacking part, but say why put chocolate rain. YouTube's Jojo Siwa addresses blackface accusations in a non-stop music video. So I actually looked at this, and I would show a picture of it, but I don't want to get, say, demonetized or copyright striked. But just look at it, and you'll say, "Oh God, is I mean, she's like 16 or something like that years old. I get when you're young, but this is 2020. Say if you're 16 years old, say in 19, I don't know, 30, and you did blackface. It's still wrong back then, but people weren't that awake yet. I mean, seriously." So a little background before we get into this next one. So a month or something ago, I was going on I was searching on Google, oh yeah, all these universities, yeah, and all call that, to see, oh yeah, and I looked at oh yeah, famous people that went to these colleges and universities, and I kind of made a little check mark and says number saying this, oh yeah, this is how many people say did I actually know, or modern people, so it says and oh yeah, hey, Taft went to this, but even though that's good, it's yeah, I'm more looking for modern ones, and I saw for Boston University that Jenna Marbles went to it. And I know Boston, where people are racist, but that's not everyone is racist. But here's the next one. YouTube influencer Jenna Marbles quits her channel after blackface backlash. So, like I said, she went to Boston University. She also went to Stockford or something like that, a private university in Boston. And when you go to a private university, but then you do all kind of this stuff, she used I think darkened her skin to look like Nicki Minaj, and I think that was a very stupid popular thing. I think other parody YouTubers kind of did that and all that. And when you do that, and then after many years later, you're this, oh my god, I didn't know that was wrong. When it's yeah, it's 2014. Even though 2014 isn't 2020 where it's still bad. I mean, we still had Obama in the White House, and just think and you thought that oh yeah, making myself look like Nicki Minaj, that's really gonna end up well. So tourists learn the hard way why you should never attempt to pet a lion. Yeah, the the unless if these people are stupid, blind, or never heard of lion where they're this, oh look, a giant kitty with giant fangs. Yeah, I mean I get there's idiots out there, I mean And did people watch Tiger King? Tigers and lions are basically kind of the same. They're both giant cats that can kill you. I mean, seriously, like, the lion wasn't happy and let them know it. Yeah, no, like, okay, so Tiger King was very popular. Like, like me, like, it wasn't say, like, ah, no, I forget. I mean, like, where people are like this, Tiger King. You know what? Lions and tigers are very different. Yeah, Or were they thinking like, oh yeah, hey, like these tigers, they're like, they're friend or like lions, they're friendly. Yeah, I mean, when you go on like a safari and all of that, you don't pet the giant like killer kitty. If they're called the king of the jungle for some reason. Do you think the king like? Do you think the king will be like this? Like, nah, it's cool. You could pet me, or we're like this. Like, Officer Karen videos goes viral after Georgia cop breaks down over McMuffin. So, so this police officer, who she was she was waiting for in like the drive-through for like a while, like waiting for like a McMuffin, and like she's like this. Oh yeah, like I just got off like shift and all that, and she went like crying, like she's like she was acting like, oh my god, this is like the worst thing that ever happened to police officers. Like this is like the worst thing that happened in like drive through that week. But seriously, like that's why people are like tweeting something like this. Oh yeah, hey, it's not the worst thing that happened in a fast food drive through that week. And when like so there are great like police officers like everywhere. But when I mean like the media is like parents. Whenever you do something bad, your parents are gonna are cover it more they're not like they're gonna let it let they're not gonna let it go away. But say if you do something good, your parents are like this. Oh yeah, good for you. Like, okay. So and then and yes, there are bad police officers, but there are also really great officers. Like, I mean, but we can't let the bad police officers ruin the reputations of good police officers, because like seriously, I mean but when you're crying over a McMuffin, you have to just stop and think like, yeah, I'm crying over a McMuffin. Like say if it was like a little kid, it's like oh, I want my chicken nuggets or French fries on the kind of when are they coming out? That's a little kid. Even though it's not okay for them to cry, they don't really know any better. But when say you're a police officer, you've been doing all the like this training, and you're like but there was also like the accusations of Shake Shack poisoning police officers, which it wasn't true. There's video evidence of that already poisoned like the drinks, and the people didn't know that the police officers were ordering it, because since police officers really couldn't go into the thing into the restaurant. So seriously, just think about just stop and think. If you're crying over a McMuffin, you really have to just stop and think like, yeah, hey, is this a good thing to cry about? And I'm thinking that we should change Don't Cry Over Spilt Milk to Don't Cry Over a Late McMuffin. So there are two kinds of whitest whites. There's the South kind of whitest whites that like this, like, oh yeah, NASCAR, woo wee, Trump, like that. And then there's whitest whites like, oh yeah, hey, look, I'm wearing like a sweater, I'm like let's tie like our sweaters over like our necks and all that. And these are these kinds of people. Meet the gun couple, 2020's firearm-toting protests fearing versions of American Gothic. And this, okay, so the guy, he looks like a, kind of like a thin Peter Griffin. Seriously, like the glasses, no wait, He kind of looks like, yeah, he looks like Peter Griffin, like, but like a little bit thinner with like the hair and like glasses, but then almost like a face of Hank Hill, and he has like a modified AR-15. So if you see kind of their home, it is like, so okay, so background information. So there is a protest on this private street of Black Lives Matter, and they're making noise and all that, but they weren't like trying to charge at the house, and so I get like they're. I mean, even though there's been many peaceful protesters, some anarchists like think like this. Oh yeah, hey, let's just loot because like when riots start happening, then people then people think like this. Oh yeah, hey, it's okay for us to loot. But then when there's peaceful protesters, kind of like again, like you know, there's good there's good protesters, but then there's bad apples that just destroy like the lot. So a couple months ago, when or in May, when the first George Floyd protest happened, and then when it turned into like riot, there was these they actually call them like rednecks, not like rednecks with guns, and they're helping protect stores, and and this is what they said. We agree with the protests, but not with the rioting, and because what happened to George Floyd was awful, and I'm thinking like this, this is what the Second Amendment is supposed to be: protecting yourself, the police aren't gonna all stop every protest rioter. So so these guys help. But then when there's like these white people, they're like, I mean, like seriously, they're when you have like a modified AR-15 and thinking for protection, okay, so the only guns that people really should have is home protection, a a a pistol and all kind of that. Save your hunter. Like I hate hunting and then hunting for fun, like a stupid because it's not like a sport. Do you think do you think say after like a deer shot that they're like this, hey, good game, like they're going over to shake like the shooters, but then at the same time there's overpopulation of animals, but then and usually people are like a rifle, so it's either for hunting for fun, which is kind of stupid, or for food, or for say protection against kind of like animals, save someone's living in I don't know, the Appalachian Mountains, or but then when you're a white guy who has who has you know like so the girl here, her name shouldn't be Susan, it should be like Nancy, and not Karen, it should be like Nancy, because Nancy is like because Karen's more in the wild one, like the one that's oh yeah, they actually go to somewhere. A Nancy or a Susan is is someone that's your next door neighbor that they call the cops saying this. Oh my God, it's after 9 o'clock and they're playing some music, or 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 they're the kinds that they give out say one small Tootsie Roll at Halloween and nothing nothing else, or maybe one Jolly Rancher. Yeah. And if you don't know what she's holding a pistol. When the guy, which I mean, seriously, there during this protesting, there was no signs of violence or anything like that. And then people were like this, oh my God, we think that we might get looted, like that's what so this is what racism really is. It's if it first started with with white people ignorance, saying this, hey, your skin is different than mine. You know what? That means that you're not that means you're not equal to me. So you're gonna be like my slave, and and it keeps going through history, and then also at the same time it's and then also stereotypes keep going, and then people think oh yeah, hey, all black people are looters then, if you say oh yeah, so say if you see five black people that are looting, then white people are going like this, huh, all black people are looters, huh? And that's what basically American ignorance is. And if you can't really see it, just look in the White House. Snapchat stops promoting Donald Trump account, says it will amplify people who incite racial violence. Yes. So when Snapchat, well, when people just only use it for filters, you know, when they ban Donald Trump's account or ads or revolting. Trump condemned for saying George Floyd in praising U.S. economy. President made the comment after better than expected jobs report shown that national unemployment rate falling. So this was June 6th, that's 5th, and this is what Donald Trump said. He he said, oh yeah, oh yeah, it's a great day for George. It's a great day for the country. I bet that George is looking down at us, happy and all that. When I think just last year or something like that, Donald Trump was was saying this. Oh yeah, Elijah Cummings, he's looking up at us from from hell. So when and Elijah Cummings he was on the Supreme Court, I think, and with this Donald Trump because when you have a death like this, when a man who kept saying, I can't breathe, I can't breathe, I can't breathe, and the officers did nothing about it, when there was video, when there was when you're doing something bad, say licking the frosting off the cake, and say we keep doing it, and then someone's videotaping you, and you know about it, do you still keep doing it? No, because you know that they got caught. And with Donald Trump, and I mean, it's great that oh yeah, unemployment rate is falling, but when you do so when Colin Kaepernick and other NFL players were kneeling during the national anthem, guess how many tweets Donald Trump dedicated to it? 104 tweets attacking the NFL and all that. Even after when Donald Trump called people in Charlottesville who were screaming Jews will not replace us, very fine people, and guess how many tweets Donald Trump commemorated to George Floyd? 0. Which that's also a good thing because at least I mean it's 0 good tweets, but that's bad. But then say 0 bad tweets, and that's good. And Donald seriously when Donald Trump was also in his bunk seriously Donald Trump dodged the protesters he dodged the draft. I mean seriously and he lied about it. And when he had police attack their own U.S. citizens who were peaceful protesting, not doing anything wrong, but doing the First Amendment by freedom of speech and freedom of peaceful protest. The police were attacking protesters with rubber bullets, which they were huge. You think rubber bullets are size of Nerf darts or something like that? No. They're the size of, say, I can't really show, but because and then tear gas, pepper ball, all that, just so Donald Trump could do a photo shoot at a church that he doesn't even go to. Seriously, the reverend at the church, she said this. Oh yeah, the only time Donald Trump has ever actually gone to that church or any church was on his inauguration day. Yeah, and that was in 2017. It's 2020 now, and Donald Trump says that he's very Christian. Twitch temporarily bans President Trump. And so Twitch, for your thinking is not true, but what the Twitch, okay, that's just a giant tongue twister. For Trump's Twitch account, they usually start his rallies and all that, and so, but when you think oh yeah, Trump has a Twitch account, you're just thinking this. Hello, Twitch, all my Twitch followers. Today we're gonna be playing some Fortnite. Okay, let's get into this. Cause it's one of my favorite games. Cause You could build a giant wall and, you know. So let's just get playing. Oh wait, this is a fighting game? Ow, 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 my bone spurs. Ow, ow, my bone spurs. Okay, so for this next one, I don't really feel like, find like the news story again, but Trump and a bunch of other conservatives are saying like, and people are, and idiots are just saying like this, oh yeah, like, if you take down like these statues, then you're taking apart history. Like how are we gonna learn history? Like if you take down like, these statues. And if you take down the statues, it isn't like Back to the Future, like, when you do something like wrong in like the past, you know, the, the things, the people in the photo vanish. Seriously, like, how we learn history is by textbooks. Like, do you think like in history class, like they're gonna be like this? Okay, students, we don't have any textbooks or anything like that, so we're just gonna go for a field trip for like for the to like the same like spot, so we can learn history of say George Washington. Okay, so it's here we go. This is where usually kids like first like, learn about like stuff. The eyewitness books. Seriously, like this is how we learn like history and stuff like that by book. I mean seriously, like, oh wow. So if we take a so we take down like monuments, then this will never happen. Oh no, so this won't happen if we take like down like so this is like a lie because only statues teach us history. So the last point I just want to make is that the only place that really like war memorials should go is on constant like battlefields. Like say like this like we have graveyards for like a reason. We don't keep like gravestones say like in like the say like on like the side. I mean, well there are side of roads, but say like we don't keep like bunch of gravestones say like in like our backyards or say like or say like in like the woods. I mean, say places like Gettysburg. Yes, there are like memorials for like all that, um but I mean, Donald Trump is all about saying like this. Oh yeah, hey, this person's like a loser because they lost. But then, say when it's like a Confederate monument, it's like, yeah, we shouldn't like, really take these down. Like, I mean, even though the Confederates were human beings, they did something like terribly wrong by like keeping slaves. And when people say like this, like oh yeah, we shouldn't take down like the Robert E. Lee statue. This is what he said in 1869. I think it's wiser not to keep open the source of war, but to follow the examples of those nations who endeavored to obligate to mark the marks of civil strife, to commit obligations and feeling endangered. So this is back in 1869. So like everyone spoke like very elegant back then. But then we have like president now who's like this like United States, the oranges, smoking like so. What we should do is just for like America, we don't have say like a I think of like I know George Cornwallis or King George III or say like say like in Ohio or something like that because they lost the war because they lost the war and we won the war. And those are like Revolutionary War, like people like of like the British side.